Pleasure to have you back on, Kofi. The last time we spoke to you, you were out on the West Coast with the LA Galaxy, and then you made the switch and you're with DC United now. One star-laden lineup in LA. You have arrived to another star-laden lineup in DC United with a lot of veterans. Talk about how your season has gone with DC United so far.
Yes, so far it's going pretty well. As I'm sure you're aware, we're currently in first place in the Eastern Conference. So, from a team standpoint, we're doing really well. And, the guys are gelling. The coaches, players, technical staff have all bought into the system. And it's showing on the field, with players being familiar with each other. So I'm glad to be a part of this organization.
Kofi, a big matchup coming up against the former champs, MLS 2014 champs, Sporting Kansas City at RFK Stadium. The place should be rocking. I'm sure you guys are getting prepared and ready for this one.
Yes, definitely. Sporting Kansas, like you said, the one that MLS Cup last year, and it pretty much has the same group of players this year. So by no means is this game going to be easy. In fact, it's going to be one of the hardest games we're going to play this year, especially considering the circumstances with us first and them second. And obviously, every team wants to finish on top of their division, so it's going to be a cracking matchup between us and Sporting Kansas.
I got to tell go ahead, Kofi.
Yeah, so I'm saying this week we are prepared very, very hard and well for the game on Friday.
It's got to be real enjoyable to play behind a guy who I think is the most underrated and doesn't get enough respect around the league, Bill Hamid. This guy makes acrobatic saves after acrobatic saves week in and week out, and this guy doesn't get enough love from a lot of people around North America. I think this guy has been lights out, the best in MLS this year.
I mean, I completely agree with you. Bill Hamid is, to me, the best keeper in MLS. It goes to show, if you just look at his stats, what he can do on the field is incredible. And I think something a lot of people don't realize about him is the fact that he's able to command his line, command or organize the team in front of him. So anytime you play with him, the job is just so much easier, because he's a great vocal leader, puts you in good positions. And I don't think I have to get into what he can do, in terms of stopping the ball from going to the back of the net. I truly believe he's one of the best keepers in the league, and he's young. He's only 23 right now. And so obviously he has a really, really bright future ahead of him.
Kofi, I watched Davy Arnaud a number of years in this league, and to me, he's a pit bull. He'll go through a brick wall for his teammates. He'll score some big goals, and he is a leader on that field. He reminds me of a former teammate of yours, Keane, in LA Galaxy. They're both of the same makeup. They hate to lose. They bring it each and every time they're out there. Talk about Davy Arnaud and what he's brought to this squad this season.
I mean, obviously, he brings leadership right away. He's very demanding of his players, and he expects nothing but the best. It doesn't matter if you're new, if you're a rookie, or if you played in the league for numerous of years. He expects high quality from his teammates, and he's one of these players who's not flashy, so you wouldn't really see him on the highlight reel. His name is not out there on MLS Soccer because of all the tricks he can do. But, he definitely does his part. He's great at organizing. Another player that's great at organizing. And he works his tail off for the team. He's up and down defending into the attack. And, his passing is very underrated. And I'm pretty sure he has a 90-something percentage pass completion. But, he gets overlooked a lot. So, but he's definitely a great player down on the team. And he makes our team, or he's one of the few individuals that make our team what it is right now.
You know, Kofi, you got a wonderful mix on this DC United team. You've got some real good veterans, like we said, in Davy Arnaud, Eddie Johnston, Bobby Boswell. But you got some great young talent, Luis Silva, Kyle Porter, yourself. Guys that are hungry, guys that want to be in there each and every game, and guys that can make a difference. This is a deadly mix, I think, that no team wants to face in the playoffs.
Yes, I think the coaching staff has done a great job. Ben Olsen of bringing in the right blend of both experienced players, players who have played in this league, players who have won titles in this league, and also bringing in the younger players as well. So for us, it's great to look up to the older players for guidance, and also like Ben too. You know, he's played in the league, so he understands. He's one of the younger coaches, so we can kind of relate to him, and he can relate to us as well. So I think that helps us overall.
You know, Kofi, Ben to me is a slam dunk for Coach of the Year awards. Absolutely fantastic job he's done. But a guy who I know and I'm in contact quite a bit is a Canadian guy, a guy who came from Italy. You know him as your assistant coach, Enzo Concina. What has Enzo brought from Italy and from Europe that has helped some of the young guys like yourself and even some of the veterans to make a difference in how good you guys have been this year?
Well, I don't think I have to tell you, but like Enzo, he has played in Italy. He has coached in Italy, and now he's here with us. And obviously, you know, coming from Italy, he brings his own perspective in terms of the way Italians play tactically. So he's able to, I guess, implement that style into our style, DC United style. So he's very like tactical. You know, it's very he loves to put things on the board and explain it that way, and he's very good with one-on-one situations with players like myself. You know, after practice, me and him work on a certain technique because he was a center back back in the days. So he just gives me, like, you know, the ins and outs of how to be a good center back, a better center back in the league. And so I'm just trying to learn as much from him as I can. Even the other guys too, the other defenders. Doesn't matter if they're younger or older. We're all learning a lot from Enzo. So I'm glad we have him. You know, glad we have him, and he's a fellow Ontarian.